was what I was going to show you. Like, if we just look at fib retracement, this sometimes is kind of useful. I'm going to get rid of the channel here because it's just kind of cluttered. This is just default, literally I want to find a better entry. So here's kind of like another way to look at it is if something coincides with this fib retracement, then that's actually not bad, right? This is just the default fib retracement. So a lot of times that's pretty decent. And then here's kind of like a second one. And so now it's kind of interesting because this coincides with our previous high, a little bit of a volatility cloud, a movement monitor is there for the 1 hour. You could look at something like that. I would probably go to a bigger time frame so you have a little more perspective, and it doesn't, you don't have to feel like you're dealing with something too small. And so you're using the same exact data, starting from, like I said, the local, relatively that local correction, and you're looking here. And so now you're kind of looking at the 4 hour chart, and you can kind of see like where does you see where that little dot is. So now you can kind of drag that down if you want to, and you could say, okay, you know what? The safest place for me to enter is here. Now the downside is I may just not get my entry. If Floki keeps going, then I just don't enter. But as bullish as it is, I know I want to be in a long. I just don't want to be that guy that buys into an overextended long. And so, this is what the guys call bullets. They're like, I'm going to have one bullet there for a certain amount of money, and then have another one here. Maybe I do it a little tighter, but you see, I have like multiple trades open. I'm going to have one right here that's got nice asymmetry. If it gets to that point, I have one here. I'm willing to lose my money a little bit here. And then because I do believe this thing is going to be the one, I'm going to maybe, I don't know, let's just say you decide to set a third one. And so you could clone this and you could literally use that. This is if it's a really powerful trend, you're just using this fib line right here. And you could say like, I'm going to use that one, and that will be my first one. And I just
on multiple, but I would have to use multiple exchanges to do that.
I think that's probably the best way.
Yeah,
just so they don't confuse themselves.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I have seen like Bybit consolidate orders and just do things that the user wasn't really looking to do. So
it did that to me the other day, and I was through my computer through the window because I knew I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was doing it right.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best way, is just to do it on different exchanges. The only other thing I would tell you is just be a little cautious. Use these flex micro charts because as long as you know that, like for instance, Floki USDTP, BingX has its own chart. So if you're on BingX, use a BingX chart. Bybit has its own. I think they call it 1,000 Floki, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So see, here's Bybit's chart. It's 1,000 Floki. It's the same thing. It's just kind of consolidating it into like, what if you bought 1,000 Floki, but the price action is kind of the same. And then you can see Femex has the same thing. So again, if you're going to use a Femex, if you're going to use Femex as an exchange, use a Femex chart. But yeah, I think that's a great, overall tutorial. In fact, I'm